Something kind of wild just happened. I used one free AI tool, not 10, not 5, one, and within 48 hours, I had a fully working business, like actual people messaging me, orders coming in. And no, I'm not selling sketchy crypto tokens or drop-shipping nose hair trimmers. All right, so let me rewind. You know that feeling when your brain is buzzing at 2 a.m. and you randomly think, what if I started a business tomorrow? Yeah, that's where this started. I wasn't planning a big launch or anything. I was actually procrastinating on folding laundry. I just watched this video about how AI tools are replacing everything from designers to writers, and I thought, cool, but can one of them make me some money? That's all I wanted, just to see if the AI hype could translate into something tangible, something that didn't need coding, funding, or sacrificing my sleep. So I sat down with my laptop, no plan, no niche in mind, just vibes, and I typed into Google, AI tools that build businesses. And wow, the internet delivered. It was like stepping into a vending machine filled with digital promises, but one tool stood out, Durable. Weird name, right? I thought it was a home improvement app or something, but turns out it builds you a full-blown website in less than 30 seconds. I'm talking logo, copy, layout, even a fake business name if you're feeling lazy. And the kicker? It's free. Like, actually free. No credit card, no trials that make you cancel before they rob you in 14 days. Just boom, website, done. I picked digital services as my category only because it was the first thing I saw. The AI asked me what kind of service I offered, and without thinking, I typed social media consulting. Why? Because it sounded real enough, and I'd made a few decent Instagram reels before. That was literally the logic. I hit generate, and 27 seconds later, I had a homepage. With a hero image, a slogan I never wrote, and even a fake testimonial from Derek L. Who's Derek? I don't know. But thanks, buddy. Now, here's the part that messed with my head. The website actually looked good. Not like one of those weird templates from 2010 with Comic Sans and stock photos of people shaking hands. This was clean, sleek, better than what I'd make in a week with WordPress. And I didn't write a single line of code or stare at a blank canvas wondering what color scheme makes people trust you. I had something that looked professional, and I didn't even change out of pajamas. At this point, it stopped being a joke. I remember just sitting there blinking at the screen, thinking, wait, did I just become a business owner by accident? It felt like finding a crisp $100 bill in an old jacket pocket. Like I didn't work for it, but I'd be stupid not to use it. And that was just the first hour. At this point, I couldn't just close the tab and pretend it didn't happen. I mean, I had a business, sort of. So I decided to play along. Let's see how far this thing can actually go. I started clicking through the features, expecting it to hit me with a paywall any second. But nope, it just kept giving. It wasn't just a website builder. This thing had a full dashboard, analytics, invoicing tools, even a little CRM where you could track client leads. And I was like, wait, this is free? I felt like I was cheating. Not the bad kind of cheating, more like when you find a glitch in a video game that gives you infinite lives and the developers just forgot to fix it. Durable wasn't just building a website, it was thinking like a startup co-founder who'd read every self-help business book on Amazon. It generated pricing packages for me, wrote up descriptions for each one, and even suggested upsells. Like, want us to manage your content and respond to your DMs? That's our premium plan. I didn't write that. I'm not that clever. That was Durable talking. I decided to customize a few things, changed the colors a bit, swapped in a real photo of me instead of their generic headshot of a smiling white dude in a Patagonia vest, added a contact form that linked to my email. 5 minutes in, and this thing looked like it had been professionally built by someone who drinks oat milk and knows the Adobe suite by heart. Then came the logo. Now, I didn't have a name for this business because, remember, I just typed random words earlier, but Durable helped me come up with something semi-legit sounding, Buzz Pilot Media. I mean, it sounds like a tech bro with a man bun came up with it, but it works. Then it spit out a logo, yellow and black, kind of bee-themed, kind of startup-y. Was it the best logo ever? Nah. But did it look like something I paid $500 for on Fiverr? Shockingly, yes. At this point, I was genuinely impressed and slightly scared, because this wasn't just helping me with tech stuff, it was making decisions for me. Good ones. It knew what a potential customer might want to read. It knew what a basic pricing plan should look like. It even knew to put testimonials halfway down the homepage to build trust. Like, who taught this AI the psychology of selling? Probably a bunch of MIT grads who never leave their laptops. But I was benefiting, so no complaints here. What really got me was how smooth the whole thing felt. No lag, no weird steps, no 20 browser tabs open trying to figure out DNS settings or Google Analytics codes. It was all there. Click and go. I didn't even have to touch Canva or Photoshop or Google Docs. Every step was covered. Copy? Done. Structure? Done. SEO? They had a tool for that too. I swear, if this thing made coffee, I would have married it. But here's the kicker. I hadn't even promoted anything yet. I was still in my living room, still in sweatpants, and yet I had a brand. A real-looking, slightly too polished to be true digital business, and all I'd done was type in a few words and press generate. At this point, I realized something big. It's not that AI does the work for you. It's that it gives you a head start you couldn't dream of before. It removes all the early friction. That's what Durable did for me. It skipped the part where you stare at a blank Notion doc trying to decide if you should use solutions or services in your tagline. It took me straight to the part where it actually looked like I'd been running this company for a few months. So yeah, Durable didn't just lift the heavy stuff. It carried the whole first 10 miles while I was still tying my shoes. Okay, so now I had this shiny website, a decent logo, pricing plans I didn't even create, and this whole vibe that screamed, I've been doing this for years. But you know what I didn't have? A clue what to do next. Because let's be real, having a business-looking website is not the same as having a business. The AI made it look legit, sure, but I still hadn't talked to a single real client. I hadn't posted anything. I hadn't even told my mom, and you know she'd be my first customer even if I was selling pet insurance for snakes. So I did what any resourceful person with no actual game plan would do. I opened ChatGPT. Yup, another AI. I basically built this empire on free robots. I asked it something like, what's the best way to get my first client for a new social media agency? And boom, within 10 seconds, I had a mini masterclass. It told me to find a niche, offer a free trial to a potential client, and reach out to people in my existing network. Classic advice, but hearing it packaged so neatly made it feel doable, like I wasn't drowning in decision fatigue. I had a direction. And that's when I remembered my cousin's friend who runs a tiny vegan cafe. I'd seen her Instagram before. Let's just say it wasn't exactly thriving. She was posting blurry photos of lentil soup with captions like, "Come eat this." I figured, hey, what's the worst that could happen? So I DM'd her and said, hey, I just started this little agency. I'm offering a free 1-week social media revamp for small businesses I like. No strings attached. Within 5 minutes, she replied with, sure, when can we start? And I swear I stared at my phone for a solid minute like, oh no, this is real now. So I went back to my AI buddies. Durable had already given me a basic offer page, so I personalized it a little. Threw in her logo, added a section about local cafes, used ChatGPT to write some catchy posts about turmeric lattes and oat milk foams. In one evening, I scheduled a full week's worth of content for her using a free scheduler, made a highlight reel on Canva using templates ChatGPT suggested, and even wrote a little launch caption that sounded like she hired an actual brand strategist. The next day, she posted everything. And the response? Let's just say people who hadn't shown up in weeks were now asking about her new look. She loved it. And here's where the magic happened. She offered to pay me. I didn't even ask. She said, can I book you for next month? And there it was, a paying client. Less than 48 hours after I hit generate on some random AI site. That moment flipped a switch in my brain. This wasn't just a fake business I made to see what AI could do. It was a real thing now. And the best part? I didn't hustle for it. I didn't spam in 100 people or run a paid ad campaign. I just built something that looked real, helped someone genuinely, and let the results speak for themselves. From there, it kind of snowballed. I used the same exact pitch on a local yoga instructor, then a candle shop owner I found through a Facebook group. Every time I tweaked the page, added their brand colors, reworded the pitch just a little. And AI helped with all of it. Durable did the design, ChatGPT wrote the emails, Notion helped me organize my new client list, which, okay, was just 3 people. But still, clients, plural. It felt surreal. I didn't even know how to send an invoice until that week. I Googled it, obviously, and found out Durable could generate one too. So I clicked a few buttons and boom, a PDF that looked like it came from a grown-up company. All of this without hiring anyone, spending anything, or writing a single line of code. So yeah, somewhere between midnight curiosity and sending that first invoice, this thing became real. And I think that's what most people miss when they hear AI can help you start a business. It's not about some sleek viral launch or becoming a 6-figure founder overnight. It's about removing the 900 tiny roadblocks that usually make you give up before you even start. The tech didn't just build the business, it built the momentum, and that's what actually got it off the ground. Once I had a couple clients under my belt, I went back to really look at what the AI had actually built for me. I mean, I'd been using it nonstop for a week, but I hadn't slowed down enough to appreciate how wild it was. This wasn't some clunky website that looked like it was made in 2009. It was sleek. It looked like I'd hired someone with a design degree and a good eye for spacing and font pairings. The homepage alone could have passed for something you'd pay hundreds for, and that's the part that stuck with me. It didn't just look functional, it looked intentional. And all I did was fill out a few blanks and click Generate. Sure, I made tweaks. The original copy was a little too buzzwordy, like, it said things like, elevate your brand's digital presence through scalable content solutions, which sounds great, until you realize nobody talks like that. So I punched it up with my own voice, more casual, more real. I swapped in phrases like, we'll handle your posts so you can stop stressing and start selling, and it instantly felt more like me. But the point is, I wasn't starting from zero. The AI gave me a full meal. I just added seasoning. Same thing with the logo. Durable whipped up a few options, and one of them wasn't half bad. It had this bumblebee-looking icon with bold yellow and black colors. A little startup chic, a little quirky. It wasn't going to win any design awards, but it looked way more official than something I could have pulled out of Canva in 10 minutes. And for someone just starting out, that official look matters. It gets people to take you seriously before you've even said a word. And man, once people started taking me seriously, it was like the whole thing unlocked. I didn't even have to push. Clients just started showing up, all from that one test project. I posted a side-by-side Instagram feed transformation for the cafe I helped, and that post did more work than any paid ad I've ever run. People were commenting, DMing, asking if I was available, if I could help them too. It felt unreal, like I had quietly walked into a room full of opportunity, and no one was stopping me. And because AI had already given me everything I needed, contracts, welcome emails, service packages, onboarding forms, I never once felt overwhelmed. I was customizing, not scrambling, editing, not inventing. Every proposal I sent looked polished. Every message felt thoughtful, and it was all thanks to these free tools doing 80% of the heavy lifting. And that's what people don't tell you about building a business with AI. It's not about the tool, it's about the spark, the momentum, the fact that you're not alone, stuck, paralyzed by the details. You've got a co-pilot and it's fast, free, and doesn't care if you're still in your pajamas. I didn't plan to start a business that week. I didn't take a course. I didn't read a book. I just opened my laptop, typed in an idea, and let the tools carry me. And by the time I looked up, I had clients, payments, systems, and a business I didn't even know I was building. If you're sitting on an idea, wondering if it's good enough, wondering how to start, this is your sign. You don't need a blueprint. You don't need a loan. You just need to start typing. Use what's out there. Let the tools do the grunt work so you can focus on what matters, building something real. And if you want to know the exact steps I took, the tools, the templates, the pitches, just drop a comment. I'll put it all together for you, step by step. Because trust me, if I can do this in 48 hours with a laptop and some free AI, you can too. Let's build.